Every health insurance policy is basically a promise. But what are they actually promising to deliver? So today, we're going to put one specific plan under the microscope, the Galaxy Promise Health Plan. Let's break down what it's all about.
So the plan we're digging into is the Galaxy Promise Plan from Galaxy Health Insurance, and our goal here is to just cut through all the jargon, get straight to the core features, and see how it really works when you might need it most. Okay, so right off the bat, you can see how they're positioning this plan. It's not just your standard policy. They're calling it a signature, or luxury offering. Now that's a pretty bold claim in the world of health insurance, so it definitely sets a high bar for the features we're about to see.
And that brings us to the big question for this whole explainer, right? What does a luxury health plan actually mean? What's included? Let's unpack the features and find out.
All right, first up, let's get into the fundamentals. The stuff that really matters when you're actually admitted to a hospital. This is the heart of any health plan. So, the plan covers your room rent, but check this out, it works in tiers. If your total coverage, what they call the sum insured, is up to 20 lakh rupees, you're eligible for a deluxe room. But if you've got coverage of 25 lakh or more, boom, you get the flexibility to choose any room you want. Now, here's a really modern feature, digital ICU. And this isn't just about the room itself. It's about intensive care that blends high-tech tools directly with the expertise of medical professionals, all to enhance patient monitoring and hopefully lead to better outcomes.
And the plan really keeps up with the times, which is so important. It covers modern treatments, think things like robotic surgeries or immunotherapy, right up to your full policy limit. That's huge, because it means you're covered for the latest and greatest procedures as medicine evolves.
Healthcare doesn't just happen inside the hospital walls. And this plan gets that. It covers your medical bills for a full 90 days before you're admitted, and for a really generous 180 days, that's half a year, after you get discharged. Wow, the organ transplant coverage here is really comprehensive. It doesn't just pay for the patient's surgery, it also covers the medical bills for the person who donates the organ. And that's a really thoughtful, super critical detail that, honestly, a lot of plans miss. Okay, so we've covered the hospital stay. But a really good plan should also give you these powerful financial safety nets. So let's see what kind of peace of mind features the Galaxy Promise Plan has built in. All right, first up, there's something called a cumulative bonus. Just think of it like a reward for staying healthy, right? For every single year you don't make a claim, the insurance company adds a bonus to your total coverage, and you don't even have to pay extra for it. And listen, the bonus in this plan is not small, it's substantial. It can grow and grow year after year until it hits a maximum of 5 times your original sum insured. That is an incredibly high limit compared to what you usually see out there. Yep, you heard that right, 500%. Just let that sink in. That means your initial coverage could eventually become 6 times bigger, all just from staying healthy and not making claims. That's a powerful incentive for sure. Okay, here's another awesome safety net. Automatic restoration. So imagine the worst happens, and you have a huge claim that completely wipes out your coverage for the year. This feature is like your backup plan. It automatically puts your base coverage right back, so you're still protected if something else happens.
And here's the real kicker, the part that makes this so powerful. The restoration is unlimited. What does that mean? It means if you have multiple, totally separate medical emergencies in 1 year, your coverage just keeps getting restored. That is a massive, massive layer of financial security.
Now this next one is really unique. It's called the Premium Promise, and it basically does exactly what it says. It locks in your premium. The price you pay will not change until one of 2 things happens. Either you make your first claim, or you turn 55, whichever comes first. It's all about giving you some cost predictability.
Okay, let's dive into our third and final section here. Because modern health insurance isn't just about what happens when you get sick. It's also about wellness and covering some of life's other big moments. So if you're planning on starting a family, this is for you. The plan has a maternity benefit that covers delivery expenses up to 2 lakh rupees, and it's for either a normal delivery or a C-section, which is great. Not all medical care happens inside a hospital, and this plan gets that. It offers coverage for home care treatment, for conditions that can be safely managed at home with a doctor's supervision, all the way up to a 5 lakh rupee limit.
And to help you stay on top of your health, you also get an annual health checkup. The exact amount it covers depends on whether you have an individual plan or a family floater plan.
Okay, so we've gone through a lot of details. Let's step back for a second. What are the key takeaways here? What are the big promises that this plan is really built on? So when you boil it all down, what do you get?
Well, you've got this foundation of really solid hospital coverage that even includes modern treatments. Then, on top of that, they layer on these really robust financial safety nets. I'm talking about that 500% bonus and the unlimited restoration, which just gives you incredible peace of mind. And then it goes even further with proactive wellness benefits. And finally, it kind of wraps it all up with that promise of a stable premium as long as you stay healthy.
Look, at the end of the day, every single insurance policy, no matter who it's from or what it's called, is a promise. And as we've seen today, the real value, the real story, is always hidden in the details. That's why it's so important to read everything carefully so you know exactly what's being promised to you and, just as importantly, what isn't.